Hey, it's Katie, and you can see I've got my scarf on, all bundled up. It's been getting really chilly here actually in Colorado, at least for me chilly. It's been like 50s and 60s. So, from this girl who loves the tropics, just like shivering and freezing, and it's it's really that season, the time of the year that we're moving into what we call in Ayurveda Vata season. And so some of you might know what I mean there. Some of you might have never heard that word before, but Vata is a representation of these two elements. When they come together, it's ether and air. And when they come together, they create Vata Dosha. And it's said that this time of the year that we're moving into, fall time, autumn, is when Vata is at its highest. So when the air and the ether elements are at their highest in our environment. And I mean, we can really see this. Things are starting to dry out, get a little bit colder. There's more of a spacious quality. People are starting to go a little bit more inward. All natural qualities of this season, this time of year. It's a really powerful and beautiful time of year to tune into our creativity and spirituality. In fact, that's just natural part of what's happening, as well as this process of letting go and really a process of death. I like to think of this time of year as nature exhaling, and we are one with nature, we're a part of nature. So that same process of shedding old layers, old skin is happening for us as well. So we're really letting go of a lot of things that we don't need anymore. Well, this time of year can actually be really challenging, especially if you're in a space right now where you feel like you don't have anything more to let go of. If you're feeling a little bit depleted or exhausted, and because of that, this time of year is known for more of an increase in feelings of fear and anxiety and self-consciousness, worry, stress, even like some agitation in our mental and emotional bodies. So if you've been feeling that peak up recently, and I have in myself for sure, we can just know and identify that as Vata Dosha. And the cool thing is about this time of year that when we recognize some of the seasonal shifts that are happening in our inner and outer worlds, we can help support our bodies and sync our bodies up with the natural environment so that we can feel more and more nourished, especially during this time of so much letting go. So in Ayurveda, it's said this time of year it's really important to focus on the things that build us up, the ways in which we receive energy, because it's naturally a time where energy is going the opposite way, which can feel exhausting for the system. And so how do we do this? Well, this week's video and next week's, I'm going to be covering some different techniques. This week we're really going to focus on lifestyle, so how you live your day-to-day routine, what you can do from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to bed, and even while you're sleeping at night, to help support and ground and warm your whole body and spirit up during this chilly, cooling, downward moving time. And then next week we'll have a video that will be more about some diet and food recommendations, which is also very, very important, because what we eat, what we fill ourselves up with nutritionally, really affects our minds and our physical health. So let's dive in this week to some of the lifestyle recommendations that I have for you. This is all also included in a blog post that I've posted on my website this week, so feel free to head to my site if you're more of someone who likes to read things out. Just getting a call from my mom, actually. I'll call you back in a minute. I'm making a video. Okay, so first things first, routine. You'll want to really establish yourself and your center in your routine. So it means wake up at the same time each morning, go to sleep at the same time each evening, and try to have your meals at the same time each day. Okay, so really try to establish yourself in a routine. This time of year can tend to be a big transitional period where there's a lot up in the air. So by giving our nervous system some stability and consistency in our day-to-day life, it can let them relax, let the system relax, and allow our bodies to get into more of consistency, which is actually very, very helpful hormonally as well. So that was my first recommendation. Second, numero dos, oil your body. This is a practice called Abhyanga in Ayurveda, and it's a self-lymphatic oil massage. I recommend this time of year is perfect to use a nice sesame oil. Banyan Botanicals has a great Vata pacifying oil with herbs and oils that are used to specifically help out during this time of year. But I definitely recommend this practice called Abhyanga. And there are a few reasons that I do. The first one being that it's actually literally bringing more moisture and hydration into your tissues, your muscles, your bones, your skin, and your nerves. And the second one being that it's very grounding and useful for our nervous system when we make contact with ourselves, when we just take that little extra time and space in the morning before you shower to put some oil on your body. And in Abhyanga, you do circles over more of the joint shapes and long strokes over the bones. And you would just do that over the whole body. And until you're all coated in oil, let it sit, let it soak for a few minutes, and then hop in the shower. The shower and the steam and warm water helps it penetrate even deeper into your tissues. Super good for the lymphatic system, the muscles, the bones, the nerves. Every system of the body can benefit from Abhyanga, especially during this time of year. I highly, highly recommend it. Another great thing to just be adding into your daily routine, I'm sure many of you already exercise, and this is a great time of year for more gentle exercising. So like going on a walk, doing gentle yoga, somatics, gentle dance, movement where you're just starting to get a glisten of sweat on your skin, and then you pause and be gentle and slow with yourself. But of course, movement is always really, really beneficial. Every single day, at least 15 minutes of movement every day. And you can get that structured into your routine. The morning time between 6 and 10 a.m. is a really, really great time to get some steady, consistent movement in. And it can look different each day, but you want to get at least 15 minutes in. It doesn't have to be crazy or vigorous. And in fact, this time of year is really great for a more gentle, nourishing, slow exercise. Another great tip, this is numero cuatro, number 4, is to bundle yourself up. So you notice I'm wearing my scarf today, and it's really great to wear scarves and cozy clothes, heavy blankets. I like to sleep with a weighted blanket at this time of year. Nice warm socks. Just keep your body really warm, because our bodies tend to be really sensitive during this time of year, especially to more of the chill and to the cold. And it's said that the air and ether element enter actually through this area around the throat and the neck, which is why it's really great to wear a scarf during this time. And finally, one of the most important, I would say, for Vata Dosha is to make sure there's a little bit of time each and every day for you to get and be still. This is one of the hardest things, especially if you have a lot of Vata in your system, because Vata, think about air, is really associated with a lot of mobility and movement and a whirling sort of motion. Like, it's really hard when there's a lot of Vata in the system to sit down and slow down, but it's actually one of the best and most important things for this dosha and for this time of year is to take some time for quiet contemplation and meditation each and every day. And I really recommend at least 5 minutes every day in your routine around the same time each day, finding some space to meditate. Meditation doesn't have to look like you just sitting really still with your eyes closed counting the breath. Meditation can look and be a lot of different things. So I'd invite you to explore more of what practices help bring your mind into a more still and present state. And that will be very, very helpful for you, especially during this time of year. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. I love hearing from you. I love your questions. I love to chat. So definitely add those. And I'll be back with a new video next week where we'll talk a little bit more about how to help your diet, food choices out during this time of year to really support you for the best fall time possible. Sending you so much love, and I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful, warm, cozy rest of your day. Bye.